Well, I guess you have a choice. You can either persist, like we're talking about right now, which you're doing in your daily life and through the challenges that you're coming up with your business, but you also have the choice to be a plonker as well, don't you, Tony?
You're going to keep using that word. So yes, you do. You have a choice to be a plonker, and you know, it's all about how big is that goal for you, right? And if that goal means something for you, that thing down the road, that goal and that why, if that means something for you, something significant, then you are going to move mountains to get there. If it's not that big, if it doesn't mean that much to you, if you're not deeply connected to it, well, you're going to forget about it. You're going to go, yeah, this obstacle stopped me.
Tony, in relation to what you were talking about with your coaching webinar and you were going through it, and you said you had the expectations of getting, looking at clients. Is it a case of, is it about the expectations that you set for yourself? Is it about the idea of thinking that, well, this is the first time I've done it. I've got to create something. I've got to build this over time. It's something that's not going to just work over, straight away. Is it you have to, test and try it a couple of times, or just those little refinements that you're talking about? So it's just that you haven't built up enough to actually get something, because people aren't an overnight success as well. So, doing something for the first time around that, and big shout out to Linda and Tony who have just come on. Good morning. And Tony says, love the Zoom link.
But also it was a low target as well, Luke. So it wasn't like I had a huge target for myself, but I had what was a relatively low target. So I wasn't saying, hey, I want to have 1,000 people sign up. That wasn't it, right? So it was a lower target, and we didn't hit it, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. Why? Because we're refining, we're doing things, because these are all stepping stones to where I want to get to. So if I need to go through and refine things, or because I have to, not if I am refining things, then I'm going to refine things. Not a big deal, because my end goal means so much to me. It's so big. I'm so connected to it, and we're just got to find a solution to this.
I guess I'm, reverting and asking you these questions so it might help someone else as well. Yeah, so, sure. Think about those little things. Think about those little expectations that you're setting for yourself. Do you go in with something with, very little expectation like you did, or no expectations at all, and then just build it over time? And then do you start refining those little things like we have with Facebook right now? Because, it's been forced on us, but are you refining little things because of that rejection, or because of that pullback, or because you've been forced to by, the social media algorithms and setups that they've got and changed? So I think that's a big part of that. I also wanted to talk about, well, we've got Clinton, who's also joined us. Thanks. Good crew on today, and healthy crew that's coming in. Nathan's also come on, one to comment a lot, which we love. If you want to, comment on anything in regards to any stories that you've got around persistence, or any struggles that you are having, we'd love to have a chat, or other people that are going through struggles.
Ask us a question. If you've got a specific example that you want a solution to, then leverage Luke and I on a Sunday morning. Like, we want to have that question. We want to be able to solve that for you right here live.
And Tony's, I'm sure, got a thought on this, and it's a common practice for him. Also, I just wanted to. I'm probably a little bit foreign in actually the sitting down side of things today, but I like to be up and about, dancing about and so forth, but I'm sitting down, keeping it calm today. I did have something that did come up, and Camera Price has just come on. Big shout out to him as well. I spoke to someone recently, and it's kind of around this topic a little bit, is when things get hard, people think that you're running away from something, right? But I actually said to this person, I was like, I feel like you're actually, because of the ideas and the thought process and where you're going with it, that you're actually running towards something and not running away from something. So, when there's struggles that happen in someone's life, and they might move from one location to another, or they might, just go and do something completely different. I guess the mindset, are you actually running away from something? And maybe this is only for someone to actually identify, or are you running towards something?
Okay, sure. Well, you should always run towards something. And the reason you should always run towards something is because you have an opportunity to create that. Running away from something means that's happened, right? So that moment has happened. You can never change that particular moment. So rather than running away, so it's and the mind works in funny ways. So for example, I'll use weight loss. So people might say, I no longer want to be fat, right? But here's how the subconscious works. It hears the word fat, 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 and you're not going to be able to move forward because you're wanting to run away and leave behind that existence of being fat. Or the same from, I no longer want to be poor, right? So again, this is all in the language. Whereas if you reframe that and said, I want to create wealth and abundance, or I want to create a healthy lifestyle, or a healthy body, or a healthy mind, or whatever. Now I'm running towards something. Can you see the difference? And so it's all around the language that we say to ourselves. And so you always want to move in a forward direction. I say to people, only look back for 3 reasons. The first is to take the lesson. So me, a couple of weeks ago, masterclass, didn't go as planned, took the lesson. Now I'm moving forward. Right. The next one is to look back and enjoy what was a very happy moment. It could have been a wedding or an event or a birthday or a birth or whatever it might be. And the third is to see how far you've come, is to just go, you know what? Wow. 1 year ago I was there. Wow. Haven't I made some significant progress in that time? That's it. That are 3 reasons. Other than that, you always want to be looking and moving toward something.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's it just came on the top of my brain in terms of what we were speaking about. So it's really important to discuss that. So for everyone out there, just make sure you're moving towards something and rather than escaping something. So it's a big one. Nigel, Tony Chan's come on, and we've also got Sean Fay has also joined us, and someone that, if you can remember, Tony, you had on a Facebook Live recently, has said hello to Luke and Tony, if you remember from the Richard Branson event. So has
Ksenia.
Ksenia has come on and joined us.
Ksenia, hello. Oh, great to see you. That's very exciting.
Anyway, that was really good, and obviously we spoke about breakthroughs in that Facebook Live, and it's something that I've worked with her on in a very short amount of time, and then obviously Tony was speaking to her around the crew event and what she was doing. So big shout out to her and what's going on. I guess the next topic we want to really talk about in regards to persistence is, I guess, comes up a little bit where people go, I'm actually quite sick of all the challenges and all the changes and all the things. Before we get into this, Kyle's actually said, even the experts sometimes get it wrong. Look at Google Plus. Always good to change and adapt.
Of course, 100%.
So he's with you on that one. You got to put yourself out there. So let's cast our mind back a couple of days. Elon Musk launched the new Tesla truck, the bulletproof glass, and the bloke threw something straight in the window, broken, right? So, here he is speaking. This is one of the features of the truck, and it's broken. It's like, oh, oops. So, look, you got to put yourself out there, because here's the thing, right? You are never, ever, ever guaranteed of success. You're just not, right? You don't know. You have to put yourself out there. There's an enormous amount of belief. There's an enormous amount of faith, persistence, determination, all the things we're talking about today. But here's the guarantee that I'll give you. If you do nothing, if you sit on your backside and are a plonker and do nothing, then you will get nothing. That is my guarantee to you. I'm just using that because for those if you're a plonker, you'll get zero. You'll get donuts.
For those who've just tuned in, if you watch to the
start, not ice cream, donuts.
You'll understand why we're using the word plonker. It's not normally in my vocabulary, but I'm using it for this morning only. My point is that if you do nothing and you sit there and you're frozen with fear, or you're just unable to persist and move forward, there's my guarantee. You're going to get that much. You're going to get nothing.